It started with what looked like just another casual post from Justin Bieber, relaxing in the mountains, hoodie on, surrounded by friends, recording music. But for fans who looked a little closer, the vibe quickly shifted from chill to deeply concerning. In one photo, tucked away in the corner of the frame, Bieber appeared to be taking a hit from what looked like a bong. Not staged, not subtle, just sitting out in the open like it was no big deal. The image hit social media like a storm. Comments flooded in. Some were stunned, others were furious. "That's a huge bong," one person wrote. "All I see is a couple of potheads," said another. And then the criticism got sharper. "I always thought Bieber was better than that. At least keep it out of the public view. You're not setting a good example for your young fans." For someone who spent years trying to clean up his image and leave his troubled past behind, this wasn't just a random photo. It felt like a flashback, a possible sign that not everything is as fine as it seems. And this wasn't the only shot raising eyebrows, because just when fans thought it might have been a one-off at first glance, the setting seemed like the perfect escape. A quiet retreat tucked deep in the mountains, a makeshift studio, and Justin Bieber surrounded by nature. But what should have looked peaceful came off as unsettling, especially when you realize Hailey wasn't there. While Justin was off the grid with his buddies, his wife was in Miami, soaking up the sun and partying without him. That contrast didn't go unnoticed. Fans started asking questions. Why wasn't she there? Why does he look so out of it? And more importantly, why does this relaxing trip feel more like an escape from something? In another photo, Justin sat on a patio, mountains behind him, hoodie pulled up, bong on the ground, and his friend Eddie Benjamin puffing a cigarette beside him. These weren't just carefully curated images for Instagram. They felt raw, unfiltered, and maybe even a little too real. And while the pictures hinted at new music, the vibe wasn't exactly inspiring. It felt heavy, like Justin was trying to create through chaos. But was this just the creative process at work, or something unraveling behind the scenes? And then came the fan reactions. Again, the comment section didn't hold back. While some fans brushed it off as harmless, many others saw it as a red flag. "You're not setting a good example," one person wrote. "This isn't the Justin we used to know." And that sentiment echoed across platforms. People weren't just reacting to the bong, they were reacting to what it represented. A return to the version of Bieber they thought he left behind. What made it worse? This wasn't the first time. Just weeks earlier, he posted a video rapping about being high while visibly smoking on camera. Before that, another clip showed him smiling at the lens, eyes half closed, exhaling a thick cloud of smoke. All of it adding fuel to the growing concern. The issue wasn't just the act, it was the pattern. Fans who once celebrated his sobriety now felt like they were watching a slow rewind. And some began to ask, is this just recreational fun, or is something darker creeping back in? And then, right in the middle of all the chaos, came the rumors. With every photo and video, the speculation intensified. Was Justin Bieber spiraling again? Was he secretly battling old habits? Social media erupted with theories, and tabloids followed quickly, some even hinting at a relapse. The whispers grew louder, until his team stepped in. In February, Bieber's rep issued a sharp denial. The recurring narrative that Justin is using hard drugs is absolutely not true, they told TMZ. They insisted he was actually in one of the best places in his life. But not everyone was convinced, especially since just days earlier, a video had surfaced from Coachella, showing Bieber shirtless, glassy-eyed, swaying with the crowd. In another clip, he was slouched in a chair, hoodie pulled low, smoking something again. Fans weren't just worried, they were confused. Because how do you reconcile the image of a happy family man, caring for his baby son, with a guy who looks like he's zoning out at a music festival? His team claimed he was just tired, up all night recording, caring for his son. But the internet doesn't wait for context. It builds its own story. And that story only got more complicated when people started digging into his past. For longtime fans, this wasn't new territory, it was déjà vu. Back in 2020, Justin had openly admitted to his struggles with addiction. In his documentary Justin Bieber, Seasons, he talked about smoking marijuana as early as age 12 or 13. The pressure of fame at such a young age, he said, pushed him into a spiral of pretty heavy drugs, alcohol, and total dependence on weed. At one point, he feared for his life, saying it felt like he was dying. That confession made headlines, but it also inspired hope. Justin got clean, focused on his health, and seemed determined to turn his life around. The world saw a man rebuilding himself. But now, with every bong sighting, every hazy-eyed video, those memories come rushing back. The issue isn't just what Justin's doing now, it's what it reminds people of. The old days when he was a loose cannon, lashing out, stumbling through scandals. Even now, some insiders describe him with the same words. And the fear that history isn't just repeating, it's accelerating. But as fans debated his state of mind, another question emerged. What about his finances? As concern grew over Justin's appearance and behavior, another rumor began circulating, one that had nothing to do with bongs or blurry videos. Whispers of financial strain started gaining traction. And while it might sound ridiculous, after all, this is a man who once sold his music catalog for a staggering $200 million. There might be more to the story. According to insider reports, Bieber still owes a ton to AEG, the concert giant behind his canceled Justice World Tour in 2023. After his diagnosis with Ramsay-Hunt syndrome forced him to cut the tour short, revenue was lost, but obligations remained. On top of that, one source bluntly put it, Justin has a lot of pop star expenses. He needs the money and he wants to work. Suddenly, the social media posts of him back in the studio didn't just feel like a creative revival, they looked like a comeback driven by necessity. Snapshots of him in neon sweaters and headphones, recording in a makeshift mountain studio, told a different kind of story, one of pressure. Because for Bieber, making music isn't just about passion anymore, it might also be about survival. And if that's true, what does it mean for his future? With all the drama, the speculation, and the pressures mounting, Justin Bieber's musical comeback is becoming more than just a creative pursuit, it's a lifeline. His last album, Justice, 2021, was a commercial hit with songs like Peaches topping the charts. But now, more than ever, it seems like his career is not just about making music, it's about reclaiming control over his life. The new photos from his mountain retreat suggest he's not just in a creative space, he's fighting to stay relevant in a fast-moving industry. But here's the thing. The pressure of producing another hit album comes with its own set of risks. With health issues still lingering, his ongoing financial burdens, and fans questioning his stability, it's hard to imagine how the stakes could get higher. And while some are rooting for him, hoping he'll pull it all together and rise above his struggles, there are those who feel betrayed by what they see. For every fan cheering for his return to the music scene, there's another wondering if he'll ever truly leave his past behind. Can the new music be enough to silence the doubts? Or will his past, and the personal battles still playing out behind closed doors, continue to haunt him? One thing's for sure, Justin Bieber's next move will be watched more closely than ever. At the end of the day, what's happening with Justin Bieber isn't just about the drugs, the rumors, or the money. It's about a young man who's been thrust into a world where every misstep is magnified, every private moment made public, and every mistake scrutinized. Justin's journey is a reflection of a deeper issue in the celebrity world, a world that often treats people as products, not as human beings. From his early rise to fame as a teen sensation to the dark battles he fought behind closed doors, his story is one of both triumph and tragedy. And with every post, every photo, and every whispered rumor, we are reminded of just how much he's been through. Yes, the questions about his health, his behavior, and his financial state will continue to swirl, but what's often overlooked is the real person behind the headlines. Justin has faced incredible challenges, and in many ways, is still fighting for a sense of normalcy in a life that's anything but. So, what's next for him? Will the music be his redemption, or will the pressures of fame continue to overwhelm him? Only time will tell. But one thing's clear. Justin Bieber's story isn't over yet. It's evolving, and we're all still watching, waiting to see how it ends.